The scene opens with our protagonist Max, who has come to a therapist for a session. He explains to the therapist that people have died because of his looks. It means whoever looks at his face dies. There, the therapist is in disbelief and doesn't understand. How is that possible? So Max starts telling his story that when he was born, the doctors died when they looked at him. Later on, his parents took him to a less populated area where they have to interact with only a few people, and they have covered his face with bandages, so no one could see his face. The therapist declares a depression and asks Max to uncover his face. When Max uncovers his face, the therapist dies on the spot. Then the scene changes to the dinner table where his parents urge him to go out and enjoy life with his friends. But Max is worried about the bandages on his face and thinks that people will call him burnt or a serial killer. Nevertheless, Max was also bored with his life and dreams to live like a normal teenager. Then we see Max, who wants to talk to his only friend Dan, but he is ignoring him continuously. He becomes enraged and throws his phone on the ground, so Dan also gets infuriated and hits him. The scene ends there, and we see Max at a hospital with his mom there. People keep staring at him badly, so his mom asks him to bring a magazine. Max doesn't find any magazine, but instead finds a girl. The girl says that a magazine isn't the solution of your problems. She thinks for a second and gives her magazine to Max. Then Max comes back home after having the treatment. Dan now comes at Max's house and apologizes for earlier. He tells Max that he has set up a date for him and he needs to come with him on Valentine's Day. On Valentine's, Max tries to impress his date, but a friend of that girl comes there. He knew that Max kills people with his looks, so he starts taunting Max and forces him to reveal his face in front of everyone. When Max doesn't respond, he aggressively pushes his head against the table. After this, staff from the restaurant asks the bully guy to leave. Max's date gets ruined, and the girl leaves from there. After this incident, Max becomes disheartened and attempts to commit suicide. But the girl he met at the hospital, Alex, comes there and convinces him. Otherwise, she takes him to an old home and tries to show him the importance of life. She makes him understand that one shouldn't commit suicide upon these trivial things. This idea of Alex works, and Max enjoys a lot there after leaving from there. Max invites Alex to hang out with him, but she rejects him and leaves. Max was so frustrated by all this that he didn't even ask for the reason. The following day, he goes to the bridge again, where he met Alex. He finds her again and convinces her to go shopping. They spend some quality time together, but people are still staring at Max. Luckily, Alex wasn't bothered by this at all. Then Max comes to know that Alex has a heart disorder. If she feels any emotion, her heart starts to grow, and when it overgrows, it can stop eating. Alex is currently under treatment, and she has to take her medicines timely. Afterwards, Alex takes Max to a cinema, and the two enjoy a lot. Alex tells Max that she wants to enjoy the life, and Max is her first friend. Max becomes really happy knowing this. The two again decide to visit the old home there. They notice a lady sitting alone who was really sad because her son never comes to meet her. Meanwhile, another lady explains to Max that life isn't an easy thing. Along with good times, one has to go through the bad time. Alex becomes emotional hearing all this at night. She asks Max to let her see his face. Both get under a blanket, and Max asks her to close her eyes. He takes off bandages from his face and ties them over Alex's eyes. Now Alex can feel his face with her hands. She feels really happy, and the scene ends there. The next day, Max was playing video game with his friends. He receives a usual call from Alex, but she doesn't tell him that her condition is getting worse and she is in the hospital. Then Dan accidentally burns his hand, so him and Max go to the hospital for medication. They both meet Alex there, but she acts weird and doesn't introduce them to her mother. This disturbs Max, and when he meets her, he questions about her yesterday's behavior. She tells Max that her mother doesn't like her. Making friends because friendship creates feelings, and she considers all of this harmful for me. So Alex doesn't tell the truth to her mother because she gets more anxious after her checkups. Now Max and Alex again visit the old home to meet those ladies there. They get to know that the lady who was waiting for her son has reached the deathbed. Seeing her, Alex becomes emotional and her nose starts bleeding. She leaves from there and later comes to Max to ask for help. She says that it is very difficult to wait for the death like this on bed, and he could use his face to release her from this life. Max agrees, and he shows his face to the lady, so she dies peacefully from that day. Alex starts avoiding Max and doesn't reply to his texts. Max is disturbed by this, and he gets into an argument with his parents for the first time. His parents get shocked by Max's behavior, and he goes to hang out with Dan. Dan takes Alex's phone and invites Alex to hang out. But she doesn't respond. Max becomes upset and, in exhaustion, goes to her home to talk to her after reaching there. He gets to know that her condition is unstable, and that's why she is ignoring him. Max gets upset hearing this, and in his mind, he wanted to confess his love to her. Here. Alex, too, doesn't want to lose Max as he was her only friend, and she enjoys her company a lot. Max asks, what can he do for her? And she replies that he can donate his heart to her, or he can take her to a dance party. Max agrees for the dance, and the scene ends there. Later, Alex wears a pretty dress and reaches Max's house. Max gets quite excited and starts to come down without his bandages, but his parents remind him, and he goes back at the dance party. Max and Alex enjoy a lot while dancing. They get a little intimate, and Alex gets emotional. Her nose starts to bleed, so she goes to the washroom in the meantime. That restaurant boy comes there and starts bullying Max again. He forces him to uncover his face, and one girl sees him. She dies on the spot, and the police arrives at the scene. The police arrest Max, and while going, he notices the unstable condition of Alex. He sees that she was taken by an ambulance after coming out of the police station. Max directly goes to meet Alex. Then he gets to know that Alex lied to her. Actually, no medicine can cure her disease, and her chance of surviving were very slim now. Alex asked Max to show his face again, but he dismisses her and leaves from there. Max reaches home and, in frustration, starts to hurt his face with a brick. His parents somehow stop him, and Max heavily cries in his mother's arms. Now Max doesn't want to meet Alex again, but his friend asks him to keep his promise and convinces him. Max finally goes to the hospital to meet Alex, and the two share an emotional moment together. Then Max asks Alex to close her eyes and starts removing the bandages. Surprisingly, Alex sees Max's face and nothing happens to her. She happily looks at him for a while, and the two finally kiss each other. Alex then peacefully passes away in her sleep after her death. Max realizes that Alex was right, and his face is not a curse. Instead, he uses his face to relieve people on their deathbed and finds his purpose in it, and the movie ends.